Hi, this is Dr. Hubbard from thesurvivaldoctor.com. Today I'm going to talk about tourniquets. Tourniquet can save your life in certain situations. You can also lose a limb easily if you had a tourniquet, but sometimes that might be the risk you have to take. I'm going to show you, if you have a commercial tourniquet, then great. Maybe you already know how to use it, but I'm going to show you how to use a tourniquet with about anything you have, such as a belt, a sock and a stick, or just a shirt and a stick. Okay, first off, you should know that you're going to need a tourniquet if pressure doesn't work and there continues to be a lot of bleeding. Usually that's going to be if you cut a big artery. The artery is going to be spurting, and the arteries, the anatomy of the arteries are they come inside the arm here, the big brachial artery. It comes across here, goes into the radial artery on this side and the ulna on this side. So on the legs, go from the groin down to the inner part of the thigh, down to the inner part of the leg, and splits off into the foot. Now there are branches, but those are the biggest. So let's say we have a cut somewhere around here or here. Well, first thing you need to know is you need to put the tourniquet above the cut. I like a belt best of all. You can just loop it, tighten it until the bleeding stops, wrap it around like this, or you could put a hole in it right there, but I like wrapping it around, kind of easier, and just slip it in like that and you have a tourniquet. Okay, if you're going to use, say if you don't have a belt and you have a sock, I already put a couple of holes in here, and you find a stick. I just found this stick out in the yard, or you could use anything fairly firm, a screwdriver, maybe even a flashlight. That'd be a little thick, but you stick it through here. Make sure it's good and in there. The other side. Put it around the arm and twist. It'd be good to have these together like this, and then twist, 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 twist until it stops. And there again you have until the bleeding stops, and there again you have a good tourniquet. For a t-shirt or any shirt, I would rather it be ripped in half, but so it's not quite as thick as this, but we'll try the just regular old t-shirt. Wrap it up, tie it on each end. Again, it's a little thick to try to do that on, but it's possible. Twist, and you twist it until this bleeding stops, and keep it in that place. And this is not my favorite, but duct tape will do. Like I said, anything that's strong and that's at least a little bit thick and long enough to go around your arm or your leg or wherever that where it is above the bleeding. So here is some duct tape. I'm going to split it in two just to give it a little extra support and make it a little less sticky. Tie one end. Tie the other. And I think you have the idea. If you wanted it for the leg, you can make it longer. around the arm and twist. Now some other things though I wanted to go into are what happens if the tourniquet doesn't work? What if the bleeding continues? Because I've at least had one person come up to me during a conference and tell me that a tourniquet was tried on a person in this area here and the bleeding didn't stop. Well, that's where the anatomy comes in. If the bleeding doesn't stop, and you use the tourniquet, there's no reason why you can't use other methods in addition to the tourniquet. You could put pressure on it with the tourniquet on there, and the other thing is you know that the artery in the arm is going to be up here, and even if the bleeding is down here, you know this is where it starts. So if you put this tourniquet on, maybe either press in there or maybe put a little extra padding on this side. So I don't know, some people have the big muscles and maybe that tourniquet is not going to get to the artery that way. So you put a little padding right in there, and then slip the tourniquet, tighten it, and it's more than likely going to work well. The other thing is how long to leave a tourniquet on. Well, you have to leave it on as long as there's bleeding. You can occasionally try after a few minutes to take it off and get a little bit of blood supply to the rest of the limb, and that in order to save the limb. But in fact, a lot of times you're not going to be able to do that. You're going to have to get to emergency services as quickly as possible, and usually if you don't have the tourniquet on more than say about a couple of hours, there's a good chance that you can actually save the limb if somebody of an expert can come along. And that's how you use the tourniquet. If you want any more information, go to my website, thesurvivaldoctor.com, or go to my channel on YouTube. Thank you.